Yes, good morning, everyone. And in person also, still Happy New Year to everyone. Today it really feels like Happy New Year for many reasons. Still early in the year. And second, also today we start in camp and go to Mappeir, what always feels also like the start of a new year. And on top of that, I'm very happy that we can introduce to all of you, to all our fans and our stakeholders, our new head coach, Jesper. So it's an exciting day and also the first day of a journey and that we are starting from here. And with that, I also want to say right at the beginning that it was very important throughout the whole process for us to take the time and to find the right candidate who can take it from here. I think we have said several times that we have been happy with most of our progress and development over the last years, but that we felt that we lost a little bit the speed, we lost a little bit the energy at the end of last season. And so it was very important for us to find somebody who can take it from here and who is combining all the skills and the qualities as a head coach to take over, because we don't want to have a restart. Nobody has to be worried that this will become a transition year. We want to continue from where we have ended last year. And Jesper is exactly the right candidate for that, for many, many reasons. And I only want to point out a very few at the beginning here. He is a coach who has a proven record of taking over teams and not taking a lot of time to have an impact as a coach, a positive impact. He has done that with a team that he promoted from the second to the first division. He has done that with Brondby, a club that has been in a difficult situation. And you could see the immediate impact on the performance of the team. But he also has a record of making players better, of working with young players, working with old players and develop them. I think that is very important in MLS as well, and is especially important in our club, where we want to continue to develop our players to the next level, so to improve the team also through that. And on top of that, he has a long experience, has played the game on the professional level, has coached the game on the professional level in different clubs in a U21 of a smaller country, and had also good success with this team in the competition with some other big teams in Europe. So I want to say welcome to Vancouver, Jesper, and welcome back to Canada. He maybe can tell you why I say welcome back. But I'm very excited. We are all looking forward to an exciting year and to a lot of work that is ahead of us. This is the start of a year and the start of a process. And now I leave it to you to ask all the questions that I haven't answered yet, and also to Jesper to introduce himself a little bit more to you. Thank you very much.
Axel, we will now go to questions from the floor. We'll start with Michael McCall, then we'll go to Jay. One question, one follow-up, please.
Welcome, Jesper. Michael McCall from AFTN. This vacancy came up in November. Obviously, you were still at Brondby when that happened. Did you initially apply for the position, or did you only apply once you had been let go at Brondby?
First of all, I'll just start out here saying that I'm very excited being here. Thank you very much. I'll answer the question afterwards. I think it's great being in Vancouver. I've been in Danish football for the entirety of my career, both as a player and also as a coach. But I'm very happy also to get the experience to now be at the MLS in a great city of Vancouver, and also in a great country of Canada. I did not apply for anything while I was at Brondby, just to answer the question, because they were my employer and I was working with them. I got available late in December, and then things started out from there.
So what was it then that's attracted you to Vancouver? I know you've lived in Canada for a couple of years with your wife, about 5-6 years ago, but what attracted you then to MLS and to Vancouver and to get this chance outside of Denmark for the first time?
I think it's very attractive right now to see what's going on in the MLS. I think it's a league that everybody knows. There's creating more and more attention about. It's getting known everywhere now. Also in Europe, you hear much about it, and of course, I think it's a great experience for me. It's not like this is a great challenge for me. This is about the club. This is about, of course, the team, and I think also from what I've seen, it seems as if the team has been good. I know that there's excitement about football generally in North America right now, also due to the World Cup coming up. Of course there is, and the excitement is going up. And for me to have an opportunity to be part of that was, of course, it was easy for me to say when Axel actually told me that he would prefer me as the coach here. That it was easy for me to say yes.
Jesper J. Janor, Global BC, welcome to Vancouver. Congratulations.
Thank you very much
On the new job. Axel told us last week when it came down to his final choices, everyone had presentations. Everyone, did presentations on what they saw from the Vancouver Whitecaps. Can you share with us what your presentation looked like about how you saw this football club, how you saw the starting 11, how you saw the depth, and maybe how it could improve?
Yeah, of course, of course I can. I started looking into, of course, the team, how they played. I was not quite familiar. When you're in Europe, it's pretty far to Vancouver. Also, when they play at nighttime, right? So you don't see stuff live, and so you don't see it on regular basis. But when I started looking into the team, I saw a really hardworking team that was playing with a very good attitude, also very direct football. And also open football, and I think that we might be able to adjust a little bit. I'm not here to make a revolution because I could see that there was done a great job so far, but make an evolution to try and make something, adjustments so we can get better from actually a very good starting point. I can see a lot of good players with good mentality and playing with a strong heart for the club, and that's good to see. And then some of the things that I like to introduce, but maybe not introduce, but I would like to make sure that we will be known for is, of course, that we are tactically strong, that we can play very close together, not too spread out over the pitch, and also be a bit more ball dominant. I can see a lot of players technically strong. That's something that we will try to emphasize.
Michael touched upon it briefly, but can you talk about the Canadian connection and how much influence your wife had on saying, yes, take the job, let's go back to Canada?
Yeah, the Canadian connection, it's there when you've been in Canada, it's there for life, right? The Canadian connection is that my wife is oncologist, cancer doctor. So she had an opportunity to work in Toronto for a couple of years ago. Together with she had some research with, but so we went there as a family. It was a great experience. I used to say that it's the best experience we had as a family. We enjoyed staying in Toronto, and we also took the opportunity to go here to Vancouver and enjoy this great city just for a couple of days. But we saw it present itself at its best in May, so it was great. So yeah. It was easy for us, to, first of all, we know the language. Maybe you don't understand me that well, but I have my Danish accent. But we understand the language, understand the society, we understand, how things works. So that should make it even easier.
Thank you, Jay. We'll go to Gemma, then Howard, and Joshua.
Hi, Jesper. My name's Gemma Carson-Smith. I'm with the Canadian Press. I'm wondering if you can talk to us a little bit about your coaching style, how you would describe yourself as a coach, and what kind of formation you'd like to see from this team.
Yeah. First of all, I think my coaching style is I'm very much a student of the game still. I've been all the years. I normally have an outward look for new ideas and also thinking a lot about how we can do it tactically. But also, when we talk about formations, if there were a superior formation, everybody would play it. So I'm actually a guy that looks into what do we have of competence in the team. How can we? It doesn't. I can come here and say, okay, we play 4-3-3 with wide wingers, but if we don't have anybody, then that would be stupid. If we have players suited for something better, that's what we're going to find out. We're not going to change the entire roster because we need to find 2 wingers or anything. We're going to play whatever we think is the best for the team, and then we'll find the formation that fits. And formations are often just starting points, right? Because you change, because the game is in flow. It's so you start out saying, okay, we play 4-3-3, and then all of a sudden you push a full back up, and then you have 3 in the back, and then what are we playing now? So it's much more into the flow of the game. I think I'm a proactive coach, looking forward into the game to see what can bring us forward now. And it's not about looking backwards when you stand in a game. It's about what can we do from here on going forward. And that's what my eyes are on.
Building on that, I know this is all very new and that you probably haven't had a lot of opportunity to get to know the team and what pieces you have to work with here. But I'm wondering if there's anything on your wish list for what you want to see Axel and his staff bring in ahead of the season.
No, I think I have to be fair and see the players live on the pitch first. I think it would be unfair to say we need this and this if we actually have it within the team. We don't need to go out and seek for it. So I want to get to know the players first, and then we find out what we can do. We need to be strong as possible. That's always what you want to be in a football or soccer club. And of course we want to be that as well, but it would be stupid starting out doing a lot of stuff before I even know the players when I see them on the pitch.
Hi, it's Har with Daily Hive. The question is for Axel. When in the process for the coaching hire did your attention and your focus turn to Jesper? Because we know the team was linked and rumored to some other names. Perhaps some things fell through. So when did the focus shift?
Let me answer it this way, Har. I want to say thank you to everyone who participated in the process, but with all respect to every candidate, I will not comment on any name. I haven't done that before, and all the rumors are coming from somewhere else, not from our club. We have connected with several candidates. We have interviewed a number of candidates. And I want to say thank you because we also learned throughout the process about our own team. If you speak with people from outside who are looking at your team, you get an opinion, you get an objective opinion. And that was actually very exciting. So for that reason, I want to say thank you. I have connected with those who have been on our final list, and I also want to say thank you for their reaction and their understanding for choosing another candidate. And as I said before, the candidates have been very different. That was also part of our process, to have different candidates with different strengths and different experiences, because we wanted to find out in the process what is the best fit for us. And I would say the one thing that we learned, or where we got very confident, that the candidate doesn't need to have MLS experience, because we have a strong staff and none of our staff members is leaving the club. So everyone will continue to work with Jesper, and he can build on that. And so it was important to bring in other skills and qualities than MLS experience, and that was part of the final decision as well.
In terms of free agents, when can we expect the club to sign someone? Because you haven't signed anyone and you've got a flight to Spain in 4 hours.
Yeah, also here, we, as said before from both of us, we're not planning a rebuild. We don't plan a revolution. We plan to continue to work with the group that we have. We expect that the fresh energy, the next step on the ladder is also coming from this change, and the new energy, the new ideas, and the difference in the approach that Jesper is bringing in. We haven't lost a lot of key players, and we can build on our strong foundation. We have a starting 11 today, and that I think is really, really good. But we will continue to add depth. We're working on that. I said before that we're very close to maybe bringing in a player before the coach. Now the coach won this race, but that still means that players will come soon. And then we also want to give it time. We said several times we need in some positions maybe a little bit more depth. But now with having Jesper here, we also want him to participate in the process and giving his thumbs up and down. And so give us a little bit of time. But we have a pretty strong group. We have more than 30 players traveling to Spain, a lot of players to train for Jesper, a lot of work. So we will add more on the way.
Jesper, who are you going to add to your coaching staff?
Anybody available? No, we're going to figure out. Very important for me, as I have to learn the players, I also have to learn the coaches. They have a lot of experience from this league. There's a lot of experience I don't have, because MLS is quite different with all the traveling. There's a lot of load you have to manage very well. It's not the same as where I'm usually playing, where you can have the longest trip for 4 hours in a bus. This is quite different. So you have to have experience with that, and I'm looking forward to working with the guys already here.
Thank you, Hart. We'll Joshua, Felipe, and Sam, then we'll go online.
Hi, Jesper. Joshua Ray from Area 51 Sports Network. Just more about your tactical style. With Brondby, you were known for having a controlled style of play. Is that something you want to bring to the Whitecaps, and why is control so important in your tactics?
It's important because then you, in my opinion, there's two. When you have the ball, you can control the game. When you don't have the ball, you can affect the game, but you cannot control what's going to happen. In this league, there's a guy called Messi. You cannot control him when he has the ball, but you can try to affect him to play. But if you have the ball, you can control it, and that's also then you can control better the outcome of what's going to happen. And I think that playing too open will be, openness also creates randomness. That will be good if we are underdogs all the time. But if we want to be a team that should end up in the top, we have to play as a team that also is a top team, and then we have to be in more control of the game than our opponents. It's not always doable. That's just how football is. The worst thing in football is that you play up against opponents, but you have to live with that. I expect also in the MLS, but that's why that's a thing I want. I want players to be connected, also when you're against the ball, and not be too spread out if you want the flow of the game. But we have to work on that.
And you spent your entire footballing career in your homeland of Denmark. Just how much of a challenge is this for you, and how exciting is it for you to be away from your home country in your career?
Yeah, it is a big challenge because football varies a lot over borders, right? Football in Denmark is not the same as football in Germany. Football in Germany is not the same as football in Spain, and football in Spain is not the same as football in North America. It's football is a product of the culture, right? So that's something I also have to learn. And in Denmark, football is a product of the Danish way of doing things, also in the society, and I think that's normal, both when you think about hierarchies and stuff like that. So I have to figure out also what is the culture of football in North America, and don't expect to be able to change everything. I have to adapt as well, but of course I'm going in and doing things the way I see they should be done.
Hi Jesper, Felipe from AFTN. Welcome to Vancouver.
Thank you.
Building on sort of the tactical questions, fans have expected with the Whitecaps, or have known for the Whitecaps, of a very idealized style of play from the previous coach, very high octane, transitional. Axel was talking about not a revolution, but just an evolution of the style of play. Would it be safe to assume from fans that maybe you bring a more sense of pragmatism to your style of play, and how you're hoping to evolve from this very specialized kind of play that they were used to under the previous coach to under your reign?
Yeah, it's not that we want to do a low octane play or anything. Of course, we want to play a kind of football that also the fans would like to watch. Being the guys that want to challenge our opponents every time we play. Of course, we want to do that. We just have to do it collectively, and not that I'm saying that it haven't been done, but also maybe not all the time in such a high transition mode that has been done so far. Of course, we're gonna always, when we have the ball, try and see if we can create a chance and score a goal. But yeah, maybe a little more, more connected and more compact also when we have the ball.
And then just to try to get to know you better, what are some tactical, maybe coaching influences that you have from coaches that you worked with or coaches that you kind of look up to?
But there's a lot, right? Because you always look at what is going on. But there's a lot of good coaches I've learned a lot from, and also inspiring me for my side of football, the way I look at football and soccer. But yeah, in the beginning, Marcelo Bielsa was one, right? I think Jürgen Klopp is a guy that inspired many people. Also Pep Guardiola and stuff like that, but also coaches not as known for the normal public as a lot of other like the ones I just mentioned. So I get inspiration from many places, also from other sports, and you can find inspiration wherever you look and you want to find it.
Sam in the back there.
Yeah, hi Jesper. Sam Rowan from thirdsub.ca. Welcome to Vancouver.
Thank you.
It's been mentioned already. The team is headed off to Spain this afternoon, so things are moving very quickly. But you'll have a good amount of time in Spain to kind of get set in with the preseason. What would a successful camp in Spain look like for you? What would you like to see from the team by the end of that camp?
Yeah, I would like to see, of course, no injuries. I would like to see that we fit. I would like to see that we have adapted a little bit to the things that I've introduced. So I will start introducing stuff, then we have to implement it, and it takes some time. Things doesn't happen overnight. All the habits we have, we put in back of our brains, and they are there for a long time, and you have to really work them out if you need to do something different. And then I just hope to see that players are really starting to figure out how to do things the way we want to do it now. And it's not a criteria that we do everything perfect, because that's just not going to happen. And that might never happen in a football game, that you do everything perfect. But what I want to see is we work with the right intentions, and we also accept that we are not perfect all the time, and we can live with some mistakes, but we work with the right intentions all the time, and then we go and make progress.
And then just in terms of one of the positions on the field, you were a midfielder in your playing days.
Yeah.
The Whitecaps have a real variety of interesting profiles in the midfield. Obviously, Ryan Gauld, Stuart Armstrong, but also younger players like Aliama and Pedro Vite, who all provide something a little bit different. Was one of the attractions of the job the variety of players that the Whitecaps have, and the potential for what you can do with some of those names?
Of course, I think from what I see from the squad right now is that you have a lot of quality, you have experience, but you also have potential, right? You have younger players that can maybe take the next step. And that's also always fun to see, but it's also fun to work with players actually already well known in their reputation. See if you can help them, get just a little bit extra, and maybe help them just to add a little bit to their game as well. So I think, midfield players has always been my weak spot, but I I'm just happy to work with players and see. My job here is to help them, help the team, help the players win football games and help them get better individually. That's actually what I'm here for.
I believe we have 2 more journalists looking to ask questions at the back of the room. Then we'll go online. Please make sure to turn on the mic when you ask your question.
This question's for Axel. This is Joe Sadowski with City News. Are you able to provide any update in terms of the ownership sale?
No, there's no update. As we have said at the end of last year, this was just the kickoff of a process that will take time. And I said that even at that day, it was just to get ahead of our fans, supporters, stakeholders, to let them know. So nothing really has happened since then.
And any potential prospects out there that you're looking to sell to potentially?
No. We're working on a pitch deck and a teaser deck, and so there is nothing happened yet. And I told everyone, no one has to be worried. This is a process that will take time, and we want to take the time, and nothing will happen quick. So I think this is a question for maybe in 6 months, the first time to ask again.
Hey Jesper, Kevin Schrack with CTV News. Welcome to Vancouver, firstly. And just following up with the ownership situation, I'm wondering if that played a role. There's a little bit of uncertainty up top, clearly. Did that play a role in your decision to come to Vancouver?
No, it didn't. As I was told, of course, this is somewhere out in the future. And I don't have any thoughts about it, to be honest. I'm here to coach the team, and I'm pretty confident that there's a team to coach. So that's what was important for me. All the speculation about ownership, it's not really for me.
And just looking at your record, your teams tend to score a lot of goals. Is it safe to say that your style is an exciting brand of football?
It depends who you ask sometimes. But I hope so. That has been, of course, football is also about entertainment, right? We also would like to entertain the fans who supports us and wants to see us play. And the best way to entertain somebody is in soccer and football is scoring goals often, right? And winning games. So, of course, that's something we want. We want to play an offensive style. We don't want to rely on, that's also why I say we would like to control the game. We don't want to rely on the opponents making a mistake for us to maybe try to utilize that. No, we'll try to see if we can create stuff ourselves. And from what I've seen from the players in the games I watched, and I don't know them that well yet, but they have the qualities to do it. I saw a game where they scored 5 against Portland. Yeah, let's see if we can try to copy that. I would be happy.
Perfect. We will now go online. We have time for 3 reporters. We'll start with JJ, then Mikkel, and finish with Simon. Over to you, JJ.
Morning, Jesper. JJ. Hey. My question is, we've heard from the Whitecaps why they wanted you as coach. Why are you the man for this job? Because there are very high expectations for this team now.
Thank you for the question. I think that the reason I think that this was a great opportunity for me, and then somebody along the way can say why I should be the man for, and why I was the man for this job, is that I see a lot of potential in the squad already. I see that we have some possibilities to also maybe do some things with the current squad that can make it even better and play at a style that I like to implement and introduce to the team. So that's why I think I might be the one sitting here. But that question is actually up to Axel, to be fair.
Fair enough. Football is a journey, whether you're a player or a manager. With your last stop, what went wrong in Brondby, and what lessons did you learn from it?
That's a good question, because that's also something you have to ask somebody else. We are not that far from, where we should be in the league, and but that's always something that in football where also emotions are running high and things can, we can get a little off track. I think the time in Brondby in general was a good time, and we were close to winning the championship. And I think the disappointment of not getting there was also something that led to, that it just was a little bit more difficult in the last part of the season. But I think actually they are left a very good spot. I think they're left better off than when I came in, and that's a good thing for them and the new coach. So that's also a thing.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, JJ. We'll go to Mikkel.
Yeah, I hope you can hear me. Hi, Jesper.
Hi, Mikkel.
Congratulations with the job. And hello, Vancouver. My name is Mikkel from Tipsblad in Denmark. And Jesper, a question for you, of course. What are you going to do with the family situation? Are you going to bring them, or how is that going to be?
I told them to stay home. No, we're gonna figure out. Our youngest son is finishing up high school, and then we have to see what's gonna happen from there. That's what the plan is. I will say though, it's pretty far from home right now, but we will airplanes are working, and we will visit each other whenever we can, and they'll come over and visit us, and there'll be room enough for them as well.
And Jesper, was there any opportunities for you to continue your coaching career in Denmark? Probably there was, but not in this small period where I've been available since I left Brondby. And one more question, if we have time. I bet when you resigned, I bet there was some sort of compensation from the side of Brondby to you. Is all those things sorted in terms of you now getting the job in Vancouver, or is there still things between you and Brondby which needs to be sorted out?
No, everything is sorted out. So, yeah.
Thank you, Mikkel. We'll finish with Simon Fudge, please.
Thank you.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Jesper, welcome to Vancouver. Simon Fudge, Soccer Talk Vancouver podcast. Wanted to actually speak to you about your time at Brondby. I mean, this is one of the more bigger clubs in Denmark. The likes of Brian and Michael Laudrup and Peter Schmeichel have played for it before in the past. It's had quite a pedigree. Being that it has that stature, not just obviously in Danish football, but probably Scandinavia as well, and then throughout Europe, and sort of the pressures to get. So if you're coming into an environment where there is now an expectation to kind of get results, and so I was, you may have touched on this before, but I was interested in knowing your experiences of some of that pressure and that expectation that you would have had all around you at Brondby that you can take into this job here with the Whitecaps in terms of what you're kind of walking into now with this team and what it would like to do going forward in MLS.
Yeah, of course, I have a lot of experiences from Brondby, which is, and many of you sitting here might not know, the club with the biggest fan base and the most media attention in Danish, maybe in Scandinavian football. But yeah, I have, of course, a lot of experience that I would like to use. Every time you are somewhere, you learn a lot of things that you can bring on to your journey going forward in life, and of course I have a lot of good experiences and learning points that I will of course exercise here as well. Whenever you work with good players and under pressure for producing results, and you get to learn something, and of course I've done as well.
If I could just add a follow-up here for both you and Axel. Obviously you have a very good familiarity with the Danish Superliga and Danish football. Does that potentially put for both of you the radar on looking at players that are either Danish players playing in other countries or in the league itself as potential players that you'd like to bring into the club?
Yeah, of course, we will use Jesper's experience in the Danish league and also his experience working with young players in the Danish Football Association. In general, I think all the Scandinavian markets are always interesting to look at. I also want to say one thing about Denmark. They're doing an outstanding job there. If you look at the population of Denmark and if you look at the outcome of their first team and the national team program, then you understand that they do things better than some of the big nations, and they're more creative, they're smarter, and they're just doing things better. Something we also want to do here. We have mentioned that very often. So credit to the whole program. I have a very good contact to the former national team coach, Jesper Sørensen, who I worked with, and so I have some insight into it. And there are always very, very interesting players coming out of those countries, very well educated and still with a lot of potential to grow in a bigger league. And so we are working on all of that, but at the end it has always to fit together. So it's a focus from us anyway, and maybe something we will be more focused on in future, but there are no guarantees at the end. It comes down to one player who is the best fit for us, and if he is Danish or German or Canadian, that is then the final decision that we have to make.
Yeah, should I follow up on that? But it would be unnatural not to exploit the knowledge you have wherever you come from. But that doesn't mean that necessarily there's going to be a lot of Danish players here from the Danish Super League, but not having that into consideration would be unnatural.
Perfect. And on that note, that concludes the formal part of our press conference. We will now go to the photo opportunity. Thanks, everyone. Brandon,
Yeah, we'll get